Well, C.S. Lewis says, down with chivalry. Down with chivalry. Can you believe it? So, Pastor Dalrock wrote an article called about courtly love. And in the Allegory of Love, C.S. Lewis writes about the medieval idea of courtly love and chivalry. And so Lewis, he sums up this concept like this. C.S. Lewis says, courtly love is a highly specialized sort whose characteristics may be enumerated as humility, courtesy, adultery, and the religion of love. So C.S. Lewis has a very strong criticism of courtly love and then how that relates into chivalry. I hadn't known this. This is really interesting. C.S. Lewis says the lover is always abject, meaning the lover is always without pride or dignity. Obedience to his lady's lightest wish, however whimsical, and silent acquiescence in her rebukes, however unjust, are the only virtues that he dares to claim. This chivalrous man, this man who is loving of courtly love. And so this topic is super important because it fundamentally transformed the way we view the world even now. This concept of courtly love started our idolization of romantic love, and also then again what we commonly call chivalry. C.S. Lewis, he writes, even our code of etiquette, with its rule that women always have precedence, is a legacy from courtly love. Or, excuse me, that all is rooted in this idea of courtly love and chivalry going back. Now, I always thought, hey, chivalry is a noble thing, deferring to women who may need help with things or whatever, opening doors, pulling out chairs, whatever. But C.S. Lewis is saying that chivalry is rooted in something that is not good. It's always been an expression of abject, meaning without pride or dignity, abject groveling to women, having its roots in courtly love, he's saying. And so this is then again, so he's saying C.S. Lewis is saying the core components of it are humility, courtesy, adultery, and the religion of love. So the first two, hey, those sound pretty good, but adultery and religion of love, that sounds really bad. C.S. Lewis says that this is one of the reasons that adultery is a core component of courtly love and chivalry. Okay, so C.S. Lewis writes, the love which is to be the source of all that is beautiful in life and manners must be the reward freely given by the lady, and only superiors can reward. He said this was the view back then about this courtly love thing. But a wife is not a superior. So the wife of another, above all as the wife of a great lord probably, she may be queen of beauty and of love, the distributor of favors, the inspiration of all knightly virtues, and the bride of villainy. But as your own wife, for whom you have bargained with her father, she sinks at once from lady into mere woman. And how can a woman, whose duty is to obey you, be the maidens, whose grace is the goal of all striving, and whose displeasure is the restraining influence upon all uncourtly vices? Now that's a lot of heady talk. I wish C.S. Lewis would have wrote a little more easily to understand. But maybe if he did, then we wouldn't be talking about him, 100 years later or whatever. But he's saying that courtly love is rooted in adultery because your wife, she can't reward you like this woman who's the princess who the knight goes to try to gain favors from. So Lewis is describing the groveling and humiliation involved in the poetry of courtly love. And this is really interesting stuff. I hadn't studied this hardly at all. So he's saying the greatest virtue was seen as gladly bearing the deepest humiliation at the hands of a woman in courtly love and and also in chivalry. So next few videos I'm going to put out, we're going to talk about courtly love and chivalry and how that relates to where we're at with romantic marriage, or I'm sorry, where we're at with romantic love and marriage today. And I think what Pastor Dalrock is trying to say, and I'll put a link to his article here, what he's trying to say is courtly love and biblical marriage are not compatible at all. Meaning romantic love and biblical marriage, you know, it's good if you have romantic love, that's fine. But that is not a requirement of biblical marriage. And sometimes it's even contrary to biblical marriage. And so there's articles based on that. So we're going to get into those. So if you're liking this content, give me a like, give me a comment, subscribe to my channel. Listen, we gotta get this marriage thing turned around here. Christ is winning. He is building his church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. Until next time, this is the Post Millennial Man.